Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I hope you're all fine. This is Muhammad Imran. I welcome you all to my channel. And today we will discuss English fricatives sound. So this is our lecture number 4 in the subject phonetics and phonology. So let's begin. Fricatives. Here we can see that English has 9 fricatives consonant. The first one is f. The second one is v. The third one is th. The fourth one is th. The fifth one is s. The sixth one is z. The seventh one is sh. The eighth one is j. And the ninth one is h. So these are English fricatives consonant. We will discuss one by one now. Once again, let me pronounce them. F, v, th, th, s, z, sh, j, h. Now, here we have a chart of fricatives. Now, as we discussed in our previous lecture that plosive can place. This is a chart of fricatives. As in our previous lecture, we discussed that plosive sounds can be described by place of articulation and by manner of articulation. So the same case is also here. Here we have fricatives, and fricatives can be described by place of articulation and by manner of articulation. Now when we say place of articulation, so we are answering a question where the sound is produced, or what organ of speech are used in the production of fricative sound. And when we say that manner of articulation of fricatives, so we are referring to that how a fricative sound is produced. Not where, but how, or what is the mechanism of the production of the speech sound of fricative. So manner of articulation answers the question how, while place of articulation answers the question where. So let's discuss these fricative sounds in detail now. First, we will talk about manner of articulation. Fricatives. Fricatives are consonants with the characteristic that air escape through a narrow passage and make a hissing sound. Most languages have fricatives, the most commonly found being something like s. Fricatives are continuant consonant, which means that you can continue making them without interruption as long as you have enough air in your lungs. To produce a fricative sound, the air stream which begins from your lungs and then passes through your larynx and pharynx, and then you have to let it out through a narrow passage or a narrow channel. So this is like how we produce a fricative sound. In simple words, it means that you have to let the air stream out from your mouth through a narrow passage or a narrow channel. Now, fricatives are consonant with the characteristic that the air escapes through a narrow passage and makes a hissing sound. So two things here are that we have to focus. The first one, that the air has to be escaped, or the air escapes through a narrow passage and makes a hissing sound. That's why we call them fricatives. So there will be a hissing sound. Most languages have fricatives, the most commonly found being something like s. Fricatives are continuant. Why they're called continuant? Continuant consonant, because which means that you can continue making them without interruption as long you have enough air in your lungs, right? The fricatives of English. English has quite a complex system of fricative phonemes, and they can be seen in the table below. Here we can see place of articulation. So the places of articulation of fricative sounds are Labiodental, dental, alveolar, post-alveolars, and glottal. Now, labiodental, when we say labiodental, so here we are using two organs of speech. One is lip and other one is teeth. So we will discuss it. And we have also dental. Dental mean with the help of teeth. And we have alveolar, so with the help of alveolar ridge. We have post-alveolar, so the area which comes after alveolar is called post-alveolar. It is just before hard palate. And then we have glottal. Now, these fricative sounds of English can be fortis or they can be leanness. So fortis and leanness already we discussed in detail in plosive sound that what is fortis? Fortis are voiceless sound and they are strong because when you produce these sounds, so you are using like a greater force of ear, and when you are producing like leanness, voiced sound like v and th and z and j. So you are using less force of the ear or less force of the ear stream to produce such sound. That's why they are called leanness voiced consonant sound. Now here we have a complete description of fricatives sound. Fricatives, place of articulation. So according to place of articulation, a fricative sounds can be labiodental, dental, alveolar, alveolar palatal, or you can also call them post-alveolar or glottal. Now, labiodental can be voiceless and voiced. Dental can be voiceless and voiced. Alveolar can be voiceless and voiced. Post-alveolar can be voiceless and voiced. And the glottal sound is only voiced because we have only one glottal sound, and that is h. Now, when we say labiodental, so we are using here two organs of speech. One is lip and one is teeth. So with the help of lower lip and upper teeth, this sound is produced, which is f. F. So you can see that we are using lower lip and upper teeth and we pronounce it as f. So f, we have example like 5, or another example can be fine, another example can be, we can make a lot of example with f. Like we can say form, we can say from, we can say fan, we can say fat. So lot of example you can make of this sound f. Now another labiodental is voiced one, which is pronounced as v, which is voiced. Now example of this sound can be vary, it can be van, or it can be like a vas, or it can be violent. Now we come towards dental fricatives sound. Why do we call them dental? Because these sounds are produced with the help of teeth, upper teeth and lower teeth. So again, dental can be voiceless and they can be voiced. How to produce dental sound? So we have two different ways to produce dental sound. You have to take the tip of your tongue just towards the back part of your behind upper part teeth. So you take your tip of tongue, right, towards where? Towards just behind upper part teeth. This is one way to produce dental sound. Another one is that you have to take out this tip of tongue between upper and lower teeth. So sometimes they also call them interdental. When you take a tip of tongue between upper and lower teeth, so then the sounds are typically known as interdental. And when you take the tip of your tongue towards the back part of your teeth, just behind back part of your teeth, then these sounds are known as dental. So we have two different ways to produce dental sound. They can be voiceless and they can be voiced. Example of voiceless we have like thank you, or we have sound like both, right? And we have example like thing. And again we come towards voice sound. So we have example of voice dental like father, mother, and this and that. So now we come towards alveolar sounds, fricatives, alveolar. So alveolar sounds are those sounds which are produced when you take the front part of your tongue towards alveolar ridge. Now alveolar sound can be voiceless or they can be voiced. First we have the example of voiceless like s. We have word like snake, we have word like snow, we have word like sip, right? And now we come towards voiced alveolar sound. I told you that to produce alveolar sound, you have to take the front part of your tongue towards alveolar ridge. So we have voice alveolar like z, and we have example like zib, like zebra. Now we have then alveolar palatal or post alveolar. So the part of your roof of mouth which comes after alveolar is known as alveolar palatal or post alveolar. So we have post alveolar, they can be voiceless or they can be voiced. So the first post alveolar or alveolar palatal we have, that is sh, and the second one is j. So sh is voiceless and j it is voiced. Example of sh can be she, it can be shoe, it can be shame, or the example of voice j can be television, it can be pleasure, it can be measure. Now this is the sound that most of the people mispronounce, right? Like we have a word pleasure. People pronounce it player. It is not player, it is pleasure. Or we have another word like measure. People pronounce it measure. It's not measure, it is measure. So this is sound which come in measure, which come in pleasure, which come in like leisure, right? Now here we have the last one, that is glottal, which is a voice sound. So we have only one glottal sound in English phonology, and that is h. Example of h can be hot, it can be heat. Remember that sometimes this h sound almost not pronounced at the beginning of a word. Like we have word like honest, we don't pronounce h here, we don't say honest, we say honest. Or we have another word like honor, so we don't pronounce her, we just say honor. So you have to keep in mind that sometimes we don't have to pronounce her at the beginning of a word. So this is the complete chart of fricatives sound, and we started from place of articulation. So places of articulation of a fricative can be labidental, dental, alveolar, alveolar palatal, and glottal. And all these sounds can be voiced and voiceless except the last one, glottal, which is only voiced. And then I have given you example of each sound, if that is voiceless or that is voiced. Here you can see place of articulation for fricatives. Okay, their places of articulation. So the first one, that is dental. I told you that you have to use your teeth, upper teeth and lower teeth for dental sound. And here we have labidental, you have to use your lip and teeth. Here we have bilabial, you have to use two lips, upper lip and lower lip. And here we have alveolar. Alveolar ridge, it comes after the part of your upper teeth. And then here we have post alveolar area, which come after alveolar. And here we have palatal, which comes after post alveolar. And here we have velar, which is also known as soft palate. And here we have glottal sound. There is the area between your vocal fold. We have only one glottal sound in English phonology, and that is h. Thank you so much. It was all about fricative sounds. What is fricative sound? We talked about place of articulation, we talk about manner of articulation, and we have given you example. Now, if you have question, so please you can ask your question in comment box. Thank you.